Hi there, and in today's video I'm going to show how to make a DIY, cheap, heavy-duty and very sturdy ladder that you can make at home without needing any special skills to do it. So now without any further ado, let's get into the video. So I'm Darren and I'm your host and you're watching Darren DIY. And now, without any further ado, grab a drink or something to eat and I hope you will enjoy. So first, I went ahead and drawn out a sketch of the ladder. And as you can see, it is going to be 1.6 meters tall by 40 centimeters wide. And it's going to have 6 levels, or also known as rungs, with 22.5 centimeters space in between each one, although it is varied at the end. Make sure that yours also has a bit of extra wood at the top and bottom of the ladder. So with the design cleared out, let's begin. So for the levels of my ladder, I used 3-inch wide planks. Also, since I didn't have any, I cut and roughly sanded 3 6-inch wide planks, which I will later cut into 3-inch wide planks. Since this is a ladder, make sure that your levels or rungs in the wood, it doesn't have any wood nuts, as they drastically weaken the ladder. For my side planks, I used 3-inch wide by 1.5-inch thick planks, which after that I had sanded the wood, I cut it into the right lengths. And after that, I marked the measurements from the sketch to one side plank, which I did by first measuring the extra length from the bottom and marking 6 lines which were 22.5 centimeters spaced out from each other, and after that, from those 6 primary lines, I marked 2 other secondary lines 1.5 inches from the primary lines, so that in total we have a 3-inch wide gap. After this, I copied the lines onto the other piece of the wood, with making sure they are symmetrical. I also marked a 0.5-inch indentation in the wood from the side so that the levels of the ladder can sit into them so that the ladder is sturdier and ultimately safer. Now, to remove the section that I have just marked, I tried out a couple of methods like chiseling, but the best one that I found was cutting 6 cuts into the wood using a saw, and then by applying pressure in between the cuts using a chisel, the pieces of wood break off very easily. After clearing up the section, I filed down where it wasn't smooth and repeated the procedure until I had 12 indentations. After that I zip tied the 2 side planks together, I filed down the pieces where it wasn't symmetrical. Now I went ahead and placed the side planks onto a wall, and using a protractor I kept changing the distance of the planks until the angle of the planks to the wall was around 70 degrees, which is an ideal angle for a ladder. So after marking the line, I went ahead and cut the extra wood out so that the pieces sit at a 70-degree position to the wall. I also rounded the top corner, which will be touching the wall, by making a rounded line and then cutting it out using a jigsaw. After that, I filed it down so that it is more or so smooth. So now after that the side planks are ready, we can start working on the levels. First, I set up a jig attachment on my circular saw to 3 inches, and then just carefully cut the pieces since they were a bit small and you can cut your hands very easily. After that, I used an orbital sander to smooth the sides. Now, I went ahead and drilled a hole in the middle of each indentation that we did earlier, so that we can fit a dowel into them. After this, I used some dowel markers and marked the holes to be drilled onto the level or rung planks, and then drilled the holes. After that, I glued them in place. I didn't use any clamps as it was a tight fit, and I was still going to screw them in place. After that the glue had dried, I drilled 2 countersinks on each side of the level for 2 screws to be screwed in place. After finishing that, I screwed the screws in place. After that, I cut the excess from the level planks and sealed any gaps with some filler putty. After letting it dry, I sanded the filler and the leather up to 320 grit. At last, I painted the leather with 1 coat of undercoat and 2 coats of magnolia paint. You could choose whatever color you want. I also lightly sanded the paint before giving it the last coat of paint. And with that said and done, our leather is complete. I think that at the end, this leather came out pretty nice, considering that I have very little experience into woodworking. And actually this leather, I made it using trial and error. I didn't watch any YouTube videos or tutorials on how to make a leather. I just started working, and actually at the end I made a pretty good leather. Also make sure to tell me what do you think about this leather in the comment section down below. It would help me a lot since I am a self-funded channel and I do everything myself. For example, the editing I do myself, the recording, the filming, everything. So it would really help me if you were to tell me something down below about this leather, as it would probably give me more motivation to make some videos. So that's it for this video. I really hope that you liked it and enjoyed watching this video. So if you did as I've told you before, make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already, so that you won't miss any new DIY videos like this one. So as always guys, stay safe and have fun. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.